What if you lashed out at your wife and kids because you shut down because of emotional trauma? Yeah, that's a great example of I call this the pressure cooker experience, right? So we actually made a video on this a while back. So essentially, what that is you're a pressure cooker, and every time something happens that triggers you, you're suppressing the trigger. You have the initial trigger from way back in childhood, and then all the stuff piling up in life, situations that have happened in the past. You gets pushed down, gets pushed down, gets pushed down. And like a pressure cooker, at some point, the pressure inside you will be so much that you'll start to whistle like a pressure cooker. Okay? One of the ways that whistle could look like is I lash out at my kids and my wife. Okay? One common reason why husbands lash out is because they have a weak bullet. A weak bullet means that something happened in their life when they were a kid where they concluded and labeled themselves as weak. Now, one of the survival behaviors of somebody who has a weak bullet is to do everything to make you look the opposite, which is control. Make you look strong. Control, being in control, is one way to have you feel strong about yourself. Okay? So when you feel like the situation is at a loss, you try to gain back control. One of the reactive ways to do that is to lash out, thinking that you'll gain control back. Okay? Because you overpower everybody. You're the loudest. You're the most aggressive. So it has you feel in the moment when the survival behavior kicks in that you're in control, which means that you're strong. So it hides your weak bullet, right? You don't feel weak anymore because you're out there, if that makes sense. So that's one example where it can come from. Now, ultimately, where you want to go is you want to actually take out, like I do, for example, you want to take out that frustration, but alone, let's say at a gym bag, right? And you want to let all that frustration and anger out. And then have the ability to have access to that hurt. And here's the thing, the hurt will come. There's no thinking about it. You just have to surrender to it, and the hurt will come. And when the hurt comes and you let it all out, at the end of it, there will be some sort of personal truth to you. Okay? So for example, one of the reasons why somebody could feel weak is because when they were young, their father beat them, or their father beat their mother, and the child could not do anything about it, and he concluded about himself that he was too weak to help his mom or to help himself or to help his brother or sister. So now he grows up overcompensating to be strong throughout his life so that he never has to feel that pain, that hurt of what it feels like to be weak, right? But you've got to face it. You've got to let that out. And simple truths will come to you at the end of an exercise like this. Oh, it wasn't my fault. You know, my father did the best he could with the tools that he had. And my father had all these bullets that had him behave this way. But it had nothing to do with me being weak or not weak. My father was just limited in how he could parent, and this was the best he could do with what he had available. That's a simple truth that could be derived. But then you feel it with every ounce of your body. It's not like you
it's not a logical, it's not
exactly.
based on logic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The clarity comes as a result of the emotional work done. And just a couple of things on with respect to going at the gym bag. If you're in a gym, it's probably not going to lead this. It will not lead the same results as going at a gym bag in the privacy of your own garage, or going at a tree in the forest. Why? Because in a gym, you're going to be mindful of the people around you. It's going to distract you from actually connecting with your emotions. And the other thing, just for Luke or anyone, like, two things stand out for me in relation to your question. And one of it is around ownership. And start really looking at your questions and speaking from I, right? What if I lashed out at my wife and kids because I shut down because of emotional trauma? And the reason I'm highlighting that is just it actually gives you a greater sense of ownership. And I totally get it. You're putting it here in a, or asking for examples, etc. But really start to own the examples that you're giving. And what I also love about your question and what you've seen it is both of those components are associated to you. And it reinforces, hey, when you can actually control you, when you deal with your emotional trauma, when you deal with the fact that you lashed out, it's not the other people in your life that need to change. The other people will change because of the scenario. They will change because of your leadership. And that's why the work we do at Bulletproof Husband is so powerful, because we don't focus on anybody other than you, because you are the only person that can control you.